Fuck this shit, need I say more? Enough for one day. The Dapper Don still don't play. Peace out. Mafia Roundtable all the way. Peace out.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged, and investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.
FBI, open up!
Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we're going to go over some of these Mafia rats. It's been a while, and I think they're getting a little lax, so we got to come through and show people what it is before people forget who they are. Now, a couple things I want to address is I think people are getting a misconception of who these people are because they have no pushback, and they really need pushback from other people, because then they can come up here and just explain the narrative, which isn't true. They are not loyal people. They don't have any dignity. They are, when the times got going rough, they just threw in the towel and threw their friends under the bus. Now, I wasn't a part of the Mafia. I was a part of a street gang, and I had something happen to me, and I didn't go run into the cops. Like, I just don't understand it, you know? I'm not in the mob. I never claimed to be. But these people are like, they need their head examined. And the people that support them need it examined even more, because it's insane the amount of stuff that they get away with saying to people. It like doesn't make any type of sense. So we're going to go over some videos today. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving with your family. Shout out to everybody. I want to send prayers to Eddie Patella. And he's going in for surgery. Something happened. Allegedly, he got hit by a car, I guess. I don't really know the whole story, but sending prayers to him. I hope he gets a speedy recovery. And let's get down to business. Let's watch some of these videos. First off, we're going to start off with Sammy Gravano.
Went in the office in the funeral parlor. He came back out. He says, "Sammy, your son got hit by a car." I said, "Oh my God, my son is dead."
All right, so he loves his son so much, right? Sammy Gravano loves his son. But watch what happens.
If you'd like to visit me and talk to me about it, about killing my son, come and talk to me, bro.
As the neon lights flickered over the dark streets, Gerard Gravano found himself in a heated confrontation with his father. It began when Gerard's girlfriend, Mallerie, made a reckless boast to her friends, bragging that she was dating the son of Sammy the Bull Gravano. Fury burned in Sammy's eyes as he confronted Gerard, accusing him of disrespecting the family name. In a dimly lit room, Sammy's hand tightened around the cold steel of a gun, his knuckles white with rage. Gerard stood frozen, realizing the gravity of the situation. Sammy's voice was low and dangerous as he leveled the gun at his son, his words dripping with menace. He warned Gerard of the consequences of his actions.
Now that's a great father, isn't it? That's a great father. Someone that would put a gun to his own son's head because his girlfriend said, "I'm dating Sammy Gravano's daughter." Like, that is insane. So, like, I wonder what excuse he has for this one.
Mallerie's careless words had ignited a powder keg of fury within Sammy, and Gerard found himself caught in the crossfire. The air was thick with tension as Sammy's finger hovered over the trigger, his resolve unyielding. It was a chilling reminder of the ruthless world they inhabited, where a single misstep could lead to ruin. This is the story of Gerard Gravano, the son of Sammy the Bull Gravano.
It's insane the amount of disrespect these people will put on their own family. See what he did to his son? This dude put a gun to his son's head because his girlfriend said something.
Early life. Gerard Gravano had a very unusual life. He was born in Brooklyn, in New York City, on September 12, 1941. His father was not an ordinary man. His father was Sammy "the Bull" Gravano, the second in command of a powerful group of criminals
Gerard was born in 1941. I did not know that. I didn't think he was that old.
called the Gambino
No, I think Sammy was born in 1941. No. Yeah.
crime family. They were part of a bigger network of criminals called the Mafia, who controlled many illegal businesses and activities in the city. Gerard grew up in a neighborhood called Bensonhurst, where he saw many things that most children would never see. He saw people carrying guns, making deals, and sometimes hurting or killing each other. He saw his father being respected and feared by everyone.
You never seen murders. Like, I don't know where they're coming up with this. Like, so Gerard Gravano was not involved with that life. He wouldn't be exposed to any of that. He saw murders and he saw all this stuff happen. No, he didn't. Maybe he read it in the paper, but his father wasn't bringing him around that until they got involved with drugs together, but they still weren't murdering people. So what the hell is all that about?
Also saw his father being arrested and taken away by the police many times. He learned that his father had a code of honor and loyalty to his family and his friends.
And then he saw his father tell on his friends, so.
But he also learned that his father had many enemies who wanted to harm him or take his place. One day, Gerard was enjoying a sunny day, riding his mini bike through the neighborhood, feeling the wind in his hair and the thrill of the ride. But suddenly, everything changed. A car appeared out of nowhere, and before he knew it, there was a crash.
Doesn't that sound a little, familiar, that story?
His father, Sammy Gravano, was with John Gotti at the funeral service of Angelo Rogerio, a close friend of both Gotti and Sammy. There he got a call that no parent ever wants to receive. His heart sank as he heard the news that his beloved son had been hit by a car. Without a moment's hesitation, Sammy rushed to the hospital, his brother-in-law Eddie by his side, along with...
I would do it, Jay. I would box Gerard if he was up for it. I would, why not?
Other worried family members. Thankfully, Gerard survived the accident, but he was badly hurt. He had a broken leg and his ribs were bruised. Sammy knew he had to do everything he could to help his son get better.
Raven was good. Sammy the Rat, 100%.
He arranged for Gerard to be transferred to New York Hospital for more specialized care. Sammy stayed by Gerard's side throughout the night, never leaving him alone for a moment. He watched over his son, praying for his recovery. As the days passed, Gerard began to show signs of improvement. His strength...
So he could put a gun to his head when his girlfriend said he was dating. He's the son of Sammy Gravano, the biggest rat in the Mafia.
Started to return, and the doctors were hopeful that he would make a full recovery. Finally, the day came when Gerard was well enough to be discharged from the hospital. But there was more to the story than meets the eye. It was revealed that Gerard's accident wasn't caused by the car hitting him. Instead, it was the other way around. Gerard had crashed into the car. The driver was terrified, fearing the repercussions from Sammy and his associates. However, Sammy was not the vengeful type. He knew that accidents happen, and he harbored no ill will towards the driver or their family. In fact, he went out of his way to reassure them that they had nothing to fear.
How many people believe that? Yeah, right. The guy was terrified, and Sammy made it a point to let the people know that nothing to worry about. Vegas Pete, how are you? Thank you for watching. Lindsay, how are you? Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Frank, what's good? Mickey Griggs, how are you, my friend? It's been a while since I've been on live, so I figured I'd give you guys some anti-rat content.
Told them it was just a tragic accident, and there would be no retaliation from him or anyone else. He also visited the family of the girl who was riding on the mini bike with Gerard. He offered them his support and assistance, knowing that they too must be going through a difficult time. Through it all, Sammy showed his strength and compassion as a father. He stayed by Gerard's side, supported him through his recovery, and extended kindness to those involved in the accident. In the end, it was a story of resilience, forgiveness, and the power of family bonds. While Gerard was in the hospital, he received a visit from a very important person. His name was John Gotti, and he was the boss of the Gambino crime family. He was the most powerful and famous criminal in the city, and he was also a friend and mentor to Gerard's father.
And he shouldn't have been. Everyone says there's talk saying, oh, John Gotti was gonna throw Sammy under the bus, and come on, like getting arrested, it's a part of that life. Like you're gonna go to jail, and if you're gonna hold your mud or not, which Sammy could not. The bottom line is he didn't want to go to prison, so he threw his friend under the bus. Sammy should have never been in the position that he was in. He wasn't built for it. But now he wants to go on the internet and claim like he's this big mafia don, which he's not. He's not.
John Gotti came to see how Gerard was doing, and he also gave him some advice. He told him to be more careful and responsible, and to not waste
I don't know who that is, Jay. I don't care about people like that.
his life on foolish things. He told him to listen to his father and learn from him, and to be loyal to the family and the mafia. Gerard was impressed and intimidated by John Gotti, and he took his words to heart. Gerard recovered from his accident, and he continued to be involved in the criminal world. He also continued to love and admire his father, and he wanted to be his partner and successor. Gerard wanted to be like his father, and he also wanted to make his father proud. He started to follow his father's footsteps and join the family business of organized crime. He did things like stealing, selling drugs, and collecting.
This is total bullshit. Gerard did not become a part of organized crime. He sold drugs with his dad. His dad got him involved with the drug business. But before that, he was not involved with anything mafia related at all. So I don't know where they're coming up with this.
Money from people who owed his father. He also made friends with other young criminals who were in the same situation as him. He thought he was living an exciting and glamorous life, but he also faced many dangers and risks. But later along the way, Sammy Gravano's life impacted Gerard's relationships and his future actions.
Yeah, do you guys know that when Sammy Gravano cooperated, they were going to off Gerard. They were going to off the daughter too. But somehow it got stopped. But they were definitely going to go. Someone put a pause on it. Mike, how you doing? Prima, shout out to you, man.
But everything changed when his father made a shocking decision. His father decided to betray the mafia and cooperate with the government as a witness.
Raven, you are 100% correct. Sammy is a rat and a liar and a coward, 100%. And then he has the nerve to wear a shirt that says Bull 19 murders, like he's proud of it. Rest in peace to Alan Kaiser. There will be justice for the victim's family, one way or another, whether it's in this lifetime or the next. But Sammy Gravano will never get any rest, ever. Because once he passes away, I'll still be here to do shows on him. And what's he going to do? Nothing. There's nothing he can do about it. Here, let me show you guys the picture. Bull 19. Like he's proud that he was involved in 19 murders, which he didn't even commit 19 murders. He was just involved somehow. And he killed a kid, an innocent kid.
He did this because he was facing a long prison sentence, and he also felt betrayed by John Gotti, who had turned against him and accused him of many crimes.
Oh, poor Sammy. So he justifies what he did. Just like all these people. Toro, how are you? Good to see you too. All these people have a reason why they cooperated. None of them say I didn't want to go to prison. None of them. Sammy, Mikey Scabs, Dominic Sicali, Eugene, the mafia boss Barillo, or Areola up there in Springfield. They are all disgraceful human beings. All of them.
His father wanted to save himself and his family, and he also wanted to expose the truth about the mafia and John Gotti. Gerard and his family had to enter the witness protection program, which meant that they had to change their names, their appearances, and their locations. Sammy Gravano changed his name to Jimmy Moran. They had to leave behind everything they knew and loved, and they had to start a new life in a new place, Tempe, Arizona. Sammy Gravano worked in construction and eventually opened his own construction company called Marathon Development.
And what happened? They all started selling drugs together. Sammy got his whole family involved with the drug business. It's insane the amount of people that he ruins their life. I mean, he brought his whole family into the business. And he tries to blame it on his son. So his excuse on why he got involved with the drug business is that his son had some kind of debt. I think it was like 20 grand. And he said he needed money to get his son out of debt. All lies.
But they also had to live in fear because they knew that the Mafia would not forgive them and would try to find them.
Alan Kaiser. He killed Alan Kaiser because of mistaken identity, allegedly. He tries to put it on Frankie DeChico, but the kid was shot in the back of the head, I believe, with a shotgun. And Sammy's little story is that Alan Kaiser ran at him, which you start hearing shotguns going off, right? You're going to run at the shooter? Highly doubt that. And if he was running at the shooter, why was he shot in the back of the head? It makes no sense. James, what's going on? How are you? Yeah, he was a witness to an alleged hit that they were doing. And Sammy says that the kid ran at him
And kill them. They had to adapt to a different and normal life.
I'll do a show about it, and I'll get the video where Sammy explains it. And he callously tries to apologize to the family, but he doesn't mean it.
Without the power and the money that they had before. But life of crime doesn't end for the Gravano family.
Oh, it doesn't end for the Gravano family.
Sammy's direct involvement in Gerard's life. Imagine you are dating the son of a notorious gangster who has killed 19 people. Sounds exciting, right? Well, not so much if you end up on his hit list. This is what happened to Mallerie, a young woman who fell in love with Gerard Gravano, the son of Sammy the Bull. Sammy the Bull was a former underboss of the Gambino crime family, one of the most powerful mafia groups in America. He was responsible for many murders.
He wanted to start his own little rap mafia down there in None Your Business. How are you? Shout out to you. Happy Thanksgiving. He wanted to start his own little rap mafia down there in Tempe, Arizona.
Including the infamous assassination of his boss, Paul Castellano, in 1985. But Sammy the Bull was not loyal to anyone. In 1991, he turned against his former associates and became a government witness, testifying against his former boss, John Gotti, and other mobsters. He was given a reduced sentence of 5 years in prison and entered the witness protection program. Gerard Gravano had a girlfriend named Mallerie.
Hey, Sammy, get in the bathroom. He's probably watching.
Mallerie was a naive and innocent girl who did not know much about Gerard's family background. She was smitten by his charm and charisma and thought he was a good guy. But
yeah, make sure you check out tomorrow's Membership Monday. I got a new video I'm dropping with Robert McNeese, where he talks about Frankie DeChico's murder and gas pipe. So you definitely want to check that out. I'm uploading it tonight. So if you have a membership, you'll be able to see it tonight.
she made a big mistake. She started to brag to her friends that she was dating Sammy the Bull Gravano's son. She thought it was cool and impressive, but she did not realize the danger she was putting herself in. Sammy Gravano did not like Mallerie.
Yeah, you're damn right. Sammy has some sugar in his tank. We got some exclusive pictures of Sammy at a nightclub. Let's check them out. Oh, look, Sammy enjoying himself. Who's that on the right? Is that what was his name? What was the guy's name? The bartender guy. I forgot his name. Sammy was involved in a bunch of questionable relationships with men.
He thought she was a loose cannon who could expose his family secrets. He decided to get rid of her. He hatched a plan to kill her. One day, he called Gerard to his house for a talk. He confronted him about Mallerie and accused him of disrespecting the family. He pulled out a gun and pointed it at Gerard's head. He threatened to kill him and Mallerie unless Gerard broke up with her and cut off all contact. Gerard was terrified. He agreed to do what his father wanted. He called...
Did he say that? He probably did. I don't know. Listen, I don't have any association with any of these people. When I first came on here, I didn't know about any of this shit. But now that I know who these people are, what they're about, my affiliation is with no one. It's by myself. I don't deal with none of these people. So...
called Mallerie and told her it was over.
I have so many huge opportunities, and I'm going to take these opportunities. You guys will see. I got some major things going on in December, and today's December 1st. Shout out to everybody out there. Happy holidays. But I got some opportunities that are just mind-blowing, and I'm going to take these opportunities. Salvatore, how are you? Shout out to you, man.
He said he did not love her anymore and that she should never call him again. He hung up the phone and cried. Mallerie was heartbroken. She did not understand what had happened. She tried to call Gerard back, but he did not answer. She felt betrayed and abandoned. She did not know that she had just escaped death by a hair. Mallerie's fate is unknown. She has not spoken publicly about her ordeal. She may have changed her name and moved to another place.
Maybe let's try to find Mallerie.
She may have found a new love and started a new life. Or she may still be haunted by the memories of her ex-boyfriend and his father, who wanted her dead. The government gave an account of Miss Mallerie's romantic troubles in a 34-page document against Sammy and Gerard Gravano in the future ecstasy ring trial. The document contained details of murder plots involving Mr. Gravano and his enemies, which also involved Miss Mallerie. These plots were politely referred to as his other crimes. Ecstasy ring. In the bustling world of drug trafficking in Arizona, Gerard Gravano found himself entangled in a web of crime, similar to the life his father, Sammy Gravano, once led in New York.
Definitely not similar. They were not, after he cooperated, he was just a scared rat hiding in a hole, slanging ecstasy. He wasn't a part of that life anymore, but he was trying to build this, rat mafia. It was very weird.
Gerard's journey into the underworld began innocently enough.
And he still thinks he's like this gangster. It's funny.
Through a friendship with Michael Papa, a fellow New Yorker dabbling in the sale of ecstasy pills at parties and raves. Little did Gerard know, his association with Papa would catapult them into the big leagues of drug dealing in Arizona. With Sammy Gravano's backing, Papa's operation quickly rose to dominance, becoming the largest supplier of ecstasy pills in the state. Each pill fetched a hefty price of up to $25, and the ring's weekly sales soared to tens of thousands.
And allegedly, Sean Atwood was involved with the ecstasy business around the same time. And I'm going to reach out to Sean Atwood and see if we could get some deeper understanding on what happened at that time. Because allegedly, he was threatened by the Gravano crew and told to stop coming in on their territory. But I'm going to reach out to Sean Atwood. I believe I already sent him a message. But shout out to Sean Atwood. We'll see if we can get him on to talk a little bit more about this situation.
Raking in profits exceeding $300,000. Although Sammy Gravano wasn't directly involved in peddling narcotics,
how are you?
His financial support and mentorship to Papa played a pivotal role in the ring's success. But their criminal empire would soon come crashing down. On a fateful day in February 2000, law enforcement descended upon them in a series of coordinated raids, culminating in the arrest of 36 individuals, including Sammy Gravano, his ex-wife Deborah, Gerard, and Papa. The authorities seized a cache of firearms and a substantial sum of cash, dealing a significant blow to the operation. Back in New York, wiretap recordings played a pivotal role in bringing down the Gambino crime family, including...
I'm doing great, man. So if you guys don't know, there's a lot more to this story that people do not know. And I'm going to bring Punch. If you guys don't know who Punch is, he was international jewel thief. He stole over $1 billion. Hey, just like Kamala. Kamala spent over $1 billion, but this dude stole over $1 billion worth of jewelry and jewels and gold and money. And he has some information about this whole ecstasy ring that you guys are not aware of. Sammy Gravano was supposed to testify against a high-ranking Westie, the boss of the Westies, which is Bosco. Sammy Gravano was going to testify against him. And Bosco is the one that paid for John Gotti to beat all those charges. It wasn't Sammy Gravano that paid that money to the jurors. Sammy Gravano was the middleman that handed them the money, but it was not Sammy that paid the money to the juries. It was Bosco. And Sammy was supposed to testify against Bosco, but he didn't get the chance. And they ended up dropping all the charges against Bosco, and he ended up out of the country, and he lived his life. And Sammy ended up in prison.
Gerard's father, who served as John Gotti's underboss. It was these recordings that led Sammy Gravano to make a life-altering decision, to flip and testify against his former associates. The betrayal stemmed from hearing Gotti disparage him on tape, a moment that shook the foundation of the Mafia world. But wiretaps weren't just a relic of Gerard's past in New York. They would resurface in Arizona, where the Gravano family's involvement in a drug trafficking ring would unravel.
100%. You're right about that, Toro. Because the FBI was involved with all this shit, they would have covered it up because they did not want another black eye on their record. It doesn't matter. They're about to be all stripped with Donald Trump is about to dismantle the FBI, the DOJ. They are in some serious trouble right now. Toro says it's a good thing because the local police department was involved. If it was the FBI, they would have covered it up for Sammy. 100%. I believe they covered up a couple of things for Sammy on the way.
Under the watchful eyes and ears of law.
I know, I can't wait either, Chris. I can't wait for that. There's going to be some real upset liberals. Shaving their head and wearing bracelets and shit.
Enforcement. In Phoenix, wiretaps became the tool of choice for investigators who monitored a staggering 17,000 conversations over a 2-month period. Even Sammy...
And guess what I have? I have the wiretaps from when all this happened. We're going to play those. Not today, but we'll play them.
Gravano himself stumbled upon a wiretap in his own apartment, unleashing a torrent of frustration and expletives before tearing it from the wall. Detective Ron Sterrett of the Phoenix Police Department initially doubted they could catch the former underboss off guard. Sammy's familiarity with law enforcement tactics led Sterrett to believe he'd be cautious. But as it turned out, Sammy's temper proved to be his downfall, leading him to let his guard down during heated moments. Despite Sammy's reputation as a savvy operator, his lack of proficiency in mathematics would ultimately seal his fate. In a revealing intercepted call, Gerard innocently asked his father to lend $70 to a friend for gas receipts. Unbeknownst to Sammy, the seemingly innocuous request was code for a much larger sum, $70,000 to finance the purchase of drugs. As the pieces fell into place, Phoenix police closed in on the Gravano family's drug operation. Karen, Gerard's sister, dutifully delivered the money from their mother to Sammy's office at his construction company, setting the stage for crucial...
Karen was involved 100%. They try to, escape accountability. She has a great mugshot.
conversations between Sammy and Deborah. Gerard Gravano found himself caught in a whirlwind of chaos and consequences as his family's criminal empire crumbled under the weight of betrayal and greed. It all started with a seemingly innocent phone call between his parents, Sammy and Deborah. Sammy accused Deborah of shorting a delivery by $5,000, sparking tension and mistrust between them. But in a surprising turn of events, Sammy later admitted that he had miscounted, exonerating Deborah from any wrongdoing. However, the damage was done, and Sammy's confession tied him to a $10,000 drug deal, laying the groundwork for his downfall. As the walls closed in around them, the Gravano family faced a series of legal battles on multiple fronts. The Arizona state case became absorbed into a larger federal case out of New York, alleging that Sammy's drug ring had purchased tens of thousands of ecstasy pills from an Israeli gang. Gerard's mentor, Michael Papa.
Shout out to Drita from Mob Wives. I went to her studio. We got to chop it up a little bit. Yeah, I got a picture to show you guys. Bam! There's Karen's mugshot. Said Mob Wives star Karen Gravano's car vandalized, and she blamed Drita. You believe that? Following her father's footsteps. Telling on people. That's what these people do. Wow, I wonder who, they wrote rat on her car. That's hilarious. I did not know that happened. Did anyone else hear about this? I guess her car was vandalized. Someone wrote rat on her car. Oh, man.
Pleaded guilty to drug conspiracy charges and agreed to testify against Sammy, further complicating their predicament. The federal indictment painted a damning picture of Sammy's criminal activities, accusing him of threatening witnesses and orchestrating murder plots. Gerard found himself entangled in his father's web of deceit, facing his own legal consequences alongside other family members. Despite their efforts to evade justice, the Gravano family's assets were seized by authorities, including their home, businesses, and cash reserves.
Hey, sucks for them. That's hilarious. She got her car vandalized. How you miscount $5,000? Yeah, I don't know. Kev, how are you? I'm doing great. Things are really good, man. Cannot complain. You guys are going to see some amazing things coming up in the future. So here, let's take a look. We saw a lot of Gravano. Let's take a look at, I have another Gravano interview, and then we're going to take a look at a little bit of A-Light talking about his good friend, Gravano.
There's a difference in our life. It's hard to understand, I think.
You see how he talks like he's still involved? Kind of odd, ain't it?
For people, legitimate people, don't understand it. And this is why I'm trying to do, in my scripted show, I'm doing a scene that I go after another hit guy, an older, very, very experienced hit guy. I'm young. I'm a hit guy already. But not a pimple on his ass.
You weren't one on John Gotti's.
They picked me to go after because they feel that this guy, who's very, very smart, very sharp, very cunning, will underestimate me. He will underestimate my looks. I look young. I'm supposed to be, he's told, a jerk off, a guy who brings messages. And Sammy, I think, could pull this off. And this is the hit on Johnny Keys.
Shout out to Patrick Beck David. Go subscribe to his channel.
And I did. I snatched him. When I had him in the truck in a van, he looked at me and said, a punk, a jerk-off, a messenger. With 5 families in New York.
100%. They lay with rats and wonder why they get fleas, or wonder why they're getting busted because they're involved with these people. They start trusting people that threw other people under the bus.
And the Philadelphia family couldn't do. You did. You have me sitting in this van. It was the most amazing fucking thing I ever heard. Now, when we do this, I don't want to do it in my movie where I just shoot him, or vice versa.
Oh, so you made up a big story like you did, right?
The people, I want to make it known what went through his head and what went through my head. They're going to see what made both of us tick. Not just shoot him up, gang him, and doing this and doing that. It's going to be different. He talked to me in the van. He said, "You're good. You're really good."
I highly doubt that some mob hitman, you picked him up, you're on your way to go kill him, and he's like giving you praise. You're really good. Yeah, you got me. Yeah. I highly doubt any of that happened because Sammy is a blatant liar. Let's check out another video, and then we're going to go check out some of Joey Merlino talking about these guys. But this is a funny one. Let's get down to it.
A beef is happening right now in the Mafia social world, I would say, between you and Sammy Gravano. But before that, Sammy had a lot of respect for you, to be honest. So, and also he called you the perfect gangster. Let's hear it out.
In contact with my brother, like, was in the Gambino family. Very powerful member of the Gambino family. He's my Albanian mafioso soulmate. Okay. I think the world of him. I mean, he's a legitimate tough guy. I think he was put under the wrong people at the time when he was in the Gambino family.
Wait, he was a legitimate tough guy in the Gambino family. He was put under the wrong people? Who was he under? Because you were in the Gambino family. Am I missing something here? Was it a different time? Nope, it was the same time because he's a liar. Gravano is an absolute liar.
At least he was part of my group, but that didn't happen.
We heard that he testified against John Gotti Jr. What was your first thought?
Not that he was betrayed by John Gotti Jr.
No.
And, I mean, he
How ironic.
He got in trouble in Brazil. He went to prison. He was betrayed, and that's what happens. An action causes a...
Yeah, I just want to know, have you heard that Johnny maybe assassinated somebody back in time?
That he assassinated people?
That maybe he killed somebody back in time, Johnny Lights?
That's that way.
Absolutely, he was a hit guy.
Okay.
Professional.
And he couldn't get made because he wasn't Italian on his father's head, but he was to us he was an Albanian mafioso.
No.
Total respect.
No, totally understand. Do you remember a little bit what was his activities back in time?
Whose activities?
Johnny
Whose
Lights.
activity? He said, do you know his activities back in time? He goes, whose activities? Because it's all bullshit. It's all scripted bullshit. He paid him to say this shit. You believe it? Do you remember his activities? Whose activities? Who are we talking about here?
Do you remember a little bit what was his activities back in time?
Whose activities?
Whose activity? That ended pretty fast, huh?
Johnny Lights.
Oh, I think they used him more or less to be a strong lover. He was the muscle for John Gotti Jr.
We are back. Now, John, what do you think made Sammy change opinion about you?
Because I'm not like most guys. I'm not weak. So when he says something that I don't like or I don't agree with, I'm going to say it. Mm-hmm. So I'll say it again. Now, he's a cunt. He's a fucking coward. He's another big mouth that didn't do much. Now, people are going to say, well, he was an underboss, you nobody. So I'm going to tell you, you can ask people or research, what did this man do to get to the level of being a made man?
What did you do to be a made man? You weren't. You were not a part of anything. You guys are just a bunch of liars paying each other to talk about each other. You were not in the Gambino family. You were not a hitman. You are a con artist. And we got proof to back it up.
So people think because they're a made man that they did something spectacular to get there. He didn't do any kind of robberies because he went through that on his shows. He did some bullshit like almost kid stuff. Robberies.
Listen,
he shot a gun once prior to him.
As much as I don't like Sammy Gravano, he was in the Gambino family and you weren't. So where's all the hostility coming from, Johnny boy? Why so mad?
I'm a made guy. And he shot one person out of 19 out of his own mouth. So he shot maybe 2 people. And he lived off that his whole life, and he tells you about how tough he is. He set up murders. If you're that tough,
Georgie Grasso, Johnny Cabot and Georgie Grasso, I murdered him.
After you cooperated, you wouldn't have hid in Arizona. He loves Brooklyn. He's from Brooklyn, but yet he's hiding in another state under, like I say, like Bin Laden in the mountains. So to me, he's a fucking coward with another big mouth. You know, he's an older guy now. He ain't no tough guy. He can bullshit everybody else. These guys live over reputations of doing 1 or 2 things.
What does he do? What does this guy do?
And then they con everybody. So,
oh, you couldn't say it any better.
You know, at 57 years old, I'm assuming you're living a fairly square life. You're not trying to go back to prison anymore. Do you miss your heyday?
Listen, there's things you're going to miss about it. I mean, particularly Gotti, people ask me about him. I said, we had some fun together too. Can't say we didn't, we laughed. But I don't live a particularly square life. I travel a lot, I have fun. I mean, you make your own fun. It doesn't have to be criminal to be fun. I got a lot of good friends out there that I stayed in touch with over the years, and I got a lot of new friends. I'm always jumping into something that's exciting, and there's new ventures, and you know, living life, man. I enjoy life. I love life, man. I enjoy life. I live it to the fullest. I'm not one of those guys that sit at home all day. I'll never do that. That's not who I am. So I think, you know, it's the person. And if the person wants to have, you know, guys go out of the house and, you know, you have that saying all the time, the glass is half full. No, you know, it depends on how you look at things. It's not that sunny out. I mean, you make your own choices in your own life, and I just made a choice to live life now, not to live a bad life like I used to. I have decided to like myself instead of retributing after everybody that bothers me. So I choose to enjoy this part of my life and to make it feel like I have some awards to it. And rewarding life is helping others, really. So I think I get a lot out of that. I like it.
Well, you brought someone today that you want us to speak to as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not important, so we're not going to go over that one. The guy he brung is not important, so we're not going to go over that one. Here, I'll give you a clip of that interview, all right? Right here.
I did this to the door. I pushed the door in.
In this Airbnb, right?
Yes, I pushed the door.
And whose card is on file here?
Yours. But I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix the door for you.
So if I get charged for this, to the door.
I did this to the door. I pushed the door in. I did this to the door. I did this to the door. I did this to the door. I pushed the door in. I pushed the door in. I pushed the door in. I pushed the door in.
In this Airbnb, right?
Yes, I pushed the door.
And
I'm
whose
gonna
card
get it
is on
fixed.
file here?
Yours. But I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix the door for you. I'm gonna fix the door for you.
So if I get charged for this,
You're not being charged.
I'm suing you. I'm taking you to court.
Fixing you. I did this to the door.
Looks like he had some trouble in paradise, huh? All right, so now let's go over and check out Joey Merlino and what he had to say. Nam, how are you? Shout out to you, man. Thank you for joining me.
I remember I interviewed Freeway Ricky Ross, who at one point was one of the biggest drug dealers in America. He ran the whole West Coast. And at one point, his drug connect ended up testifying against him. And he ended up getting life in prison, which he ultimately got reversed. But I remember him telling me something very interesting.
Yeah, he does. He wants his $3,000 back. It's so funny. Kev, good man. Did you have a good Thanksgiving? Yes, I had an absolutely great Thanksgiving. Thank you. Hope you guys had a good one too. Hope you guys all have a great Christmas as well. It's coming really fast this year.
Interesting. He said, when I first got to prison, I was angry. I was like, how could this guy do this to me? I made him hundreds of millions of dollars. He met my family. I met his family. And then a light bulb went up over his head and he said, oh, he just had to accept that snitching was part of the world of crime. That if you're going to get into crime, you have to accept, not be surprised that most people will end up snitching on you. And once you accept that, then you don't get angry over people snitching on you.
First of all, I made the mistake of getting in the drug business. That was my first mistake. My next mistake was I went back into the drug business after I said I quit.
Yeah.
So what he did is he only did what people do in the drug business. They tell.
Yeah, but Sammy wasn't in the drug business, right? Sammy was in the mafia business. But he couldn't hold it. He couldn't hold it together. He wasn't built like that.
Set you up. And for somebody to go into the drug business and not understand that, which I was in the drug business and didn't understand it, but I came to grips with it.
It just becomes part of the game. I mean, would you agree with that?
No. I mean, everybody that told on me got caught doing their own crime. It ain't like me and you went and robbed the bank. I went in and then we get caught and you told on me. They all got caught. Ralph got caught selling meth. Everyone got caught doing their own crimes. Pete the Crumb got caught. He was playing fucking cards on top of 3 dead bodies they buried 25 years ago. That they were dead. They were getting life and no parole, never getting out. So they all came in and said, "Yeah, Joey told me this. Joey told me." How the fuck? How's it even fucking hold up? I don't understand it. I'm the get out of jail. Did you ever see Monopoly? Get out of jail free. That's what the fuck it is. It's that fucking easy. And they do it. They take them. How many people were going down there to try to testify against us? I was in jail. They robbed my locker. I said on the podcast, I had fucking 50 packs of cigarettes, stamps. You know, stamps are money in jail. They took my fucking indictment. Nothing else. And my phone book. Then they tried to put me in a cell. When I got moved, I beat the case in Philly. When they shipped me to Beaumont, when I came back from USP Beaumont, they sent me to Hudson County. They put me in, who do you think they put me in a cell with? I couldn't think of his name. Mark Goodwin. He testified against the Traits brothers. I know he's a rat. Like, it's known. I walk in his cell. He said, "How you doing, Joe?" I said, "Get the fuck out of the cell."
See, a lot of other people wouldn't do that. They'd be like, "Oh, yeah," they would just go with the flow. Not Joey. He's not letting them get close to him like that. I truly believe a lot of people want this guy in prison. They still do, I believe. But they tried. They threw so many of these losers in front of this guy, and they could not get him.
So what? Get out. I went right to the cop and I said, "Listen, get me out of the cell, put me in the hole. I ain't going to cell with this motherfucker." And they moved me on another block. I know what he was going to do. I'd be in a cell with him 2 weeks. Even if I didn't say a word to him. He's going to come and say, yeah, Joey told me he did this. Joey told me he did that. I didn't give him the chance. I'd get me the fuck out right now. I ain't going to the cell. He's a rat. And they put me on another block.
Yeah. I mean, but if you think about it, though, what's the most valuable thing in someone's life?
Freedom.
Time.
Yeah, and freedom.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about, Vlad. You've never even been to prison. How can you even act like you know what the most valuable thing is? It is freedom, but you never lost yours. So what are you talking about?
It's time. Priceless.
But what I'm saying is there's nothing more valuable than time. We all have a limited amount of it. So if a person could ultimately tell on you in order to get more time in terms of, out of a jail cell, you can't be totally surprised they're going to do that. Like you said, you could just be hanging out with a guy talking about nothing, and they'll turn around and make up a bunch of stuff about you just to get out of prison quickly.
Yeah, get out of jail card free. That's it.
Exactly.
That's how easy it is.
Yep.
Well, there's cases like Philly and Eddie. Listen, I'm the voice for why I got a podcast, because there's innocent fucking people in jail. There's a guy right now, Marty Tassetta, 33 years he's in fucking jail. He's going to get out on lies. Philly and Eddie lied on him, and Al DiArco. They both lied on him. The guy's in jail for 33 fucking years. How would you feel if you were in jail for 33 years? And innocent. And the FBI knew it. They held the fucking paper back for 25 fucking years. He was at a dentist. It's impossible for him to be there. And he's doing 33. I'm the voice for that. If I'm doing something wrong, they'll fucking kill me. I don't give a fuck. Put me in jail, lock me up, do what the fuck you want to do. That's why I'm doing a podcast. There's a lot. Listen, everybody in jail ain't innocent. But what these people do, then they get on these fucking podcasts and say, oh, I'm for the kids. No, you ain't for no fucking kids. You left fucking 500 kids fucking orphans. You got their fathers in jail for life sentences. You ain't for the fucking kids. The bottom line is they didn't want to go to jail. That's it.
Hey, that's the truth. Listen, if they came out and explained the truth, maybe it would be a little different. But these people don't have it in them to explain the truth. They didn't want to go to jail, because if they didn't cooperate, they would be right where they're at. Like, it wouldn't matter. They would be doing the same shit. So all this shit about, oh, they have dignity or anything like that, it's all bullshit. These people don't care about anything. They don't care. They do it to get out of prison because they can't handle it. And then they come on here and lie.
They can say whatever the fuck they want to say.
Shout out to Lindsay. Make sure you donate. If you want to donate, we got a toy drive coming up. We're going to help out the kids that are in this homeless shelter. So you can donate through Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Super Stickers, Super Chats. I'm going to take money that I made on this channel, and I'm going to put it towards the kids in the shelter. So if you want to donate, the Cash App is Chattin with Staxx. If you want to be a guest on the show, hit up my email at billstax2021@gmail.com and help me help these kids down there at the shelter. I want to give them a good Christmas this year. And I appreciate everyone that puts money in.
That's all. That's what it is. Look at Sammy the Bull. Went to jail, got fucking 5 fucking years, killed 18 people, came out and sold kids ecstasy. Nice guy, right? Beautiful. Right. That's what he gave back to the community. I gave turkeys out, he gave ecstasy out, the motherfucker. And I'm the bad guy.
Well, now you have a podcast, which you mentioned a few times. The Skinny with Joey Merlino.
Yeah.
Where you actually give out football picks.
Yeah.
Okay. So you could actually take your gambling and sort of focus it into more of a legal direction this time.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
How's that working out?
I ain't charging for the picks. We give them out on a thing. We got fucked up. YouTube don't like us. We got shadow banned. For no reason. I can't figure it out. We did a thing right before Thanksgiving. I gave out 500 turkeys, 100 bikes, 100 coats, 25,000. I gave him a meal. We didn't even do a podcast.
See, he does give back. A lot of other people don't. They just talk a good one. They're in it for themselves. They want money. They don't care about the next person. They'll throw anyone under the bus. If they were put in the same position, they would do it again. These people are not loyal. And then these other people hang out with them and they act like, oh, they're my friend. They're this and that. No, they ain't. They are in it for themselves. They do not care at all about you. And they prove it. And these people believe them. It's insane. Good thing we got people like me, Joey Merlino, and other people to go against them.
We just did like videos, and I had a friend of mine on, McKeel, who was in jail for 47 years straight. Straight. He was on death row. He was innocent. They let him out. And I'm trying to do like some prison reform to get people out of jail. And they shadow banned me. What the fuck did I say wrong? What the fuck did I do wrong? The guy's 47 years, fact, innocent, and I gave out turkeys. They shadow banned me.
Well, I mean, I've interviewed sports figures that have bet on their own games. Like, for example, Tim Donaghy, who was the NBA ref.
He's from Philly. He's another rat. He's from Philly, that motherfucker.
He cooperated.
Yeah.
Is he?
Do you know him personally?
No, I don't know. No.
Okay. You know, if you go back, there's Pete Rose, who got caught betting on his own games, which is why he's not. Another Philly.
Philly. Look what they did to that guy. The greatest fucking hitter of all time. You can't get in the Hall of Fame. You
cannot get in the Hall of Fame.
You got A-Rod's a rat. They're all on steroid rat. A-Rod works for Baseball Tonight. Pete Rose can't get in the Hall of Fame. They got baseball players doing commercials right now. Go to fucking FanDuel and bet. And this guy bet. And he can't get in the Hall of Fame. They hate him. He's blackballed like me. They fucking hate him.
Yeah, no, I interviewed him recently.
He's a good man.
I think he's finally accepted the fact that in his lifetime, he's not going to be in the Hall of Fame. Maybe after he dies, they might give him one. But at this point.
Rest in peace to Pete Rose. Hopefully they do put him in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if they did. Does anyone know if he got put in the Hall of Fame? He should be. He's an absolute icon in the baseball world. Everyone knows about Pete Rose sliding into home plate head first. And they're going to take that away from him and not let him go in the Hall of Fame. It's insane. Like, all of them bet on the games. I'm sure there's a lot of people who have bet on the games that got away with it. Pete Rose gets caught, and all of a sudden, they don't want to put him in the Hall of Fame. It's crazy. How many people think Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame?
And he's not going to be in the Hall of Fame.
It's been almost 30 years now. So eventually you got to quit worrying about it. I know what kind of player I was. My fans know what kind of player I was. My teammates, my opposition knew what kind of player I was. You know what I mean? And you're not going to put you in the Hall of Fame because you bet on your team to win? Do you really think I'm the only player ever to bet on baseball? No one can be that naive.
Yeah.
So I'll have to wait till I die, and I won't be part of it. But that's when they'll put me in after I die.
And he did die. Rest in peace to Pete Rose. So I got a lot of good content coming. We're going to go over more of these stories. Shout out to everybody out there that sees through these people's lies. I want to give a couple shout outs. Shout out to Pee-wee, Charles Pee-wee Goldsmith. Go buy his book, Brotherhood, The Greatest Lie Ever Told. It's a great book. He was the Hells Angels president, and he wrote this book. Go check it out. You can get it on charlespeeweegoldsmith.com. Shout out to J-Rock. He's got these hats for sale. Pretty dope hats. Shout out to J-Rock. Shout out to Ronnie. Shout out to Popcorn. Go check out his show. He's going to be dropping a bunch of episodes called Interviews. He's got a new podcast he's dropping. Shout out to Big Kaz. Go check out the interview with Big Kaz. Shout out to Hessam. Shout out to Repo, Mel. Shout out to all my people out there that support me. I appreciate you. And again, sending prayers to Eddie Patella. Shout out to you, Eddie. Hope you feel better. Happy holidays to everybody. Hope you guys have a great one. Remember, if you want to donate to the toy drive we're going to be having, we don't need nothing crazy. I just want to help out these kids for this Christmas so they can have a good Christmas too. And I will be seeing you guys tomorrow. We got some good shows that are going to be dropping. There's new popcorn videos. There's whole bunch of new videos. We got some major things in the works. I'll be making an announcement soon. Stay tuned. If you like this show, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this show, too fucking bad. Start your own podcast. And remember, don't be a bitch.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged. And investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.
FBI!